Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arnadia Show. Today, a review of Lightyear. Lightyear is the latest film from Pixar, and it is about Buzz Lightyear. At the beginning of the movie, there's a title card that says that this is the movie that Andy loved and is the reason why he wanted all of those toys. The story of Lightyear revolves around Buzz Lightyear trying to get a stranded ship off of a planet and back into hyperspace. What follows is a story that spans time and space and has a very high sci-fi concept, a concept that I didn't really realize would be done in the movie like this. It really is a lot more like Interstellar than a lot of other space cartoon movies. It's real deep sci-fi in a way that I kind of condemn Pixar for doing. It's kind of crazy. Chris Evans plays Lightyear. Notable absence of Tim Allen's Lightyear, but Tim Allen's doing okay. He's still getting that toll time money. Lightyear's a very staunch soldier. He's very much about getting the job done, regardless of bodily harm to himself. For most of the film, it was fun and intriguing, yet a little bit strange and melancholy. My biggest criticism of the film is that the story is a little bit of a mess. The first act of the movie comes out swinging with high science fiction and drama that is very much encapsulated in the story of what happens to Buzz Lightyear through the beginning of the movie. And what happens is so crazy that in a lot of ways I don't believe that this is what Lightyear would do in this if this happened in real life. But again, this is a cartoon. It's a Pixar movie. It's not supposed to make too much sense. But there's just a lot about it that just is so far-fetched. I just don't believe it. But what does follow is a fun science fiction space movie that I think falls a little flat when it comes to the actual character development, especially in the antagonist, Zurg. Zurg has been promised to be a very sinister and powerful being of the universe that is the arch rival of Buzz Lightyear. I think he kind of falls flat. And it kind of makes most of the plot towards the third act of the movie just fall really flat. Now, there are some really fun sequences in this movie and some really interesting character work. Notably, in the movie, there is a team of space cadets that Lightyear teams up with, and there's some fun banter and fun times with them as well. But I also think that a lot of the interactions with those characters kind of fall to this like Pixar melancholy that they kind of infuse into all of their movies. And I understand the melancholy, and I understand why they do that, right? But I just don't feel that it is necessary in a movie like this to just go so deep into it. Like this is a kids movie. You shouldn't have to go so deep into the sad, depressing moments, parts, sad, depressing hole. And it doesn't like and it tries to get you out of that hole, and towards the end it just runs to a rousing ending, to a rousing happy ending, but you're still left with this like feeling of just dread that I don't think the movie really earns the coming out of. Though there are some really fun and great sequences. It's a Pixar movie, it looks really good. And from all accounts, children really do dig this movie. The biggest knock I have heard of it is that it doesn't really connect to the real Toy Story Buzz Lightyear mythos. Like, they really just kind of scrapped all the mythology that they had for the character and the kind of movie that the character of Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story really was. And they just went completely 180 on that and changed pretty much every aspect of the character, including his feel. And it works. There's just a lot of this movie where you're just kind of confused about what is that movie? Why did they go that way? And they went so far as to just completely retcon some things that were just kind of weird and a miss. And then there's a twist that happens in the beginning of the third act that is just kind of out of nowhere. And it just to me felt like they just threw it in there because they had to finish the movie. I give Lightyear a solid 6.5 out of 10. A good time. The kids will enjoy it. Most of the movie is filled with some really fun science fiction space action, but the beginning of the movie is so quick and it moves and it goes in such unbelievable fashion. and then the middle is just bogged down by this melancholy that it doesn't really come out of, that it just kind of makes a lot of the surface level plot not come together for me. There's fun to be had. It's a good time. Thank you for watching. My name is Arnie Diaz. This is The Arnie Diaz Show.